Welcome to the fourth episode of the GC32 Racing Tour show. Join us as we follow these exhilarating foiling catamarans around Europe as they battle it out at some of the most iconic sailing destinations. In this episode, we follow the tour to the beautiful island of Corsica and to the northern town of Calvi, where the fourth event of the 2017 tour took place, the GC32 Orezza Corsica Cup. As the penultimate event of the season, the teams arrive looking to make their mark and pick up vital overall ranking points. The top three teams were close on the overall leaderboard, so there was still so much to race for. During the previous three events, there were some tremendous battles between the teams, all pushing their foiling speed machines to their limits to try and gain any advantage. Going into the GC32 Orezza Corsica Cup in Calvi, it was Realteam who were on top of the leaderboard. They had a 6-point advantage over Argo, with Mama Aiotto in third after their victory at the previous event in Parma.
Right now the leader of the leaderboard, but the guy behind us are pushing very hard. We have to stay focused and keep a consistent result.
After the great week we had in Palma, winning, we are obviously in a high and we will try to do our best here. We are always happy with the podium. It will be a very different regatta from Palma because we are expecting very strong wins in this event. So we will see who is the strong team and who is the weakest team.
This was the first major sailing event that Calvi had hosted in the last decade, but it had already created waves within the local community and press, who were keen to see their local sailor and GC32 veteran Nicola Heinz in action.
Bonjour et bienvenue à Calvi. We're here for the fourth event of the GC32 Tour. I'm really happy that the GC32 event come here in Calvi for racing. According to the weather forecast, we're gonna have a strong regatta, a strong wind regatta, so looking forward to it. Will be a nice racing out there. And for our team, for Zulu, as usual, our goal is to win races.
Throughout the season, the GC32 Racing Tour works closely with partners such as Cyrus Events, the local organisers.
We are very pleased to be there at Calvi, a very fine place in Corsica. We have a very good relationship with the class. Very pleased to organize the second leg in France of the circuit. It's now the best, the high-level circuit in Europe for sure. And it's a real pleasure for us to do two legs of this circuit in France.
A day before the event got underway, a press conference took place at the GC32 Orezza Cup, followed by the opening ceremony and cocktail party, where the teams had the chance to enjoy the best of the Corsican hospitality. Mistral winds and flat water in the somewhat sheltered Bay of Calvi provided potentially record-breaking conditions for these one-designed flying catamarans, and the teams were lined up for 4 days of action-packed sailing. Conditions were lively on the opening day of the event, with the wind consistently above 20 knots and the swell big enough to cause the GC32s to disappear occasionally into troughs. Before racing got underway, Eric Maris's Zulu buried her bow into the back of a big wave and capsized. Two windward leeward races were held, Malizia Yacht Club de Monaco scored a fine win in the opening race, with former America's Cup skipper Sebastian Coll standing in as helm for regular skipper Pierre Casaraghi. Unfortunately, during the second race, Malizia snared the windward mark and lost valuable places trying to unravel themselves. Victory went to the overall GC32 Racing Tour leaders, Realteam, skippered by Jerome Clerc. The Swiss team finished narrowly ahead of Jason Carroll's Argo, being helmed here by American Anthony Cotoun.
In Calvi with the team Malizia we had a very nice first race. The wind was quite strong today, 25, topping 30 sometimes, and we have a top speed I think today at 34 knots, so it was quite impressive, and we won the first race, so we're really happy. It's a good start for the series.
The GC32 Racing Tour is the original circuit for these one-design foiling catamarans. It allows teams, followers and fans to travel to some of the most beautiful and prestigious sailing venues in the Mediterranean. The tour is the perfect combination of sightseeing, top hospitality, along with some super race courses which are ideal for high-level sailing.
I think it's a great class. You know, we managed to come in beautiful places. At the same time, you know, having these super fast boats, really high level of sailing.
Having fun on the GC32 Racing Tour.
Everywhere we go is always a wonderful spot. It's good sailing, a beautiful little town.
Yeah, we're very fortunate as sailors to be able to participate in these events here.
Argo's Jason Carroll, due to other commitments, handed over helming duties on board Argo to Anthony Cotoun, whose job has been filled by Morgan Larsen. Morgan Larsen, the highly experienced racing sailor who competed successfully on the GC32 Racing Tour with Alinghi 2 years ago, is back on the series, but this time he's on board Argo as a crew member.
Day 2 here in Calvi, and the Mistral is really back in force. They're trying to stretch a couple of races in this morning before it gets too fresh to safely sail. First time in Calvi, and I think we're impressed by the conditions, by the city and the people, and really looking forward to putting on a good show.
The second day saw some varied wind conditions, but the race committee managed to complete some highly tactical races. The big winner of the day was Malizia, who dominated every race, scoring 5 wins out of 5 races to secure themselves the #1 position at the top of the leaderboard. American team Argo also put in some impressive performances, and their consistency saw them rise to second on the overall leaderboard, 1 point ahead of the French boat Team NG.
Today was a great day for Team Malizia after winning all 5 races. The guys on board did a great job making all the calls happening, maneuvers, good start at the end of the day, so amazing day for us with Team Malizia.
It was a big difference between yesterday and today, and I feel like yesterday was a bit at the limit, but a lot of fun, and today was kind of back to normally what we're used to. The race committee did an excellent job, and we got our races off before basically 1 o'clock, and the races were very shifty, which makes it challenging, but at the same time it's a lot of fun. You're never out of it, and when you've got a lead, it's rarely safe, so it makes it very exciting and quite a bit of fun.
Later in the evening, the tour's teams, guests, sponsors and supporters enjoyed a special event dinner within Calvi's magnificent citadel. With its fabulous sea views, it was a magical setting. Evenings like this are integral to the social programme and help make the GC32 Racing Tour so popular. The sailors headed to the beautiful marina of Calvi for the penultimate and third day of racing for the GC32 Orezza Corsica Cup. Following the skipper's briefing, the crews had the chance to prepare their boats for a day in the water. Malizia's skipper Pierre Casaraghi joined up with his team, having missed the opening 2 days of the event.
I think the team did a great job on the first 2 days. I mean, we've been working for 2 years. We've had the same crew since the beginning last year. Seb did a great job at the helm yesterday. I think you know, we have to keep pushing. I'm going to try and keep up the level. You know, it's going to be tough. I'm sure all the guys behind us now really want to try and beat us, but I'm going to do my best to keep the level up. And I think that the crew is at its best. It showed in the last 2 days, so we have a good chance. But you never know, with these boats, it changes quickly, so we'll see.
Due to the strong wind conditions, the sailors remained ashore until mid-afternoon. It gave them a chance to relax and take stock after what had been a very demanding couple of days of racing. Fortunately, patience paid off and the GC32 fleet were able to sail one round of the Anonymous Speed Challenge and 2 windward leeward races. Race 7 went to Simon Del Zoppo's Film Racing. The Australian team scored their first win in Calvi, whilst race 8 went to Pierre Casaraghi's Malizia Yacht Club de Monaco to win their remarkable 7th at the GC32 Orezza Corsica Cup.
Conditions in Calvi have been a lot windier obviously than Palma, so we've had to adapt to that. It's been pretty exciting stuff. Generally when the breeze is up above 20 knots we have to sail more conservatively, so therefore we put less lift on the foils and try and keep the boat very flat. We've got to keep our rudders in the water so we can keep our steering, and so the bigger the waves, obviously the boat, you know, lifts up more, and we've got to be very careful, so you know we get hit some pretty high speeds. So we make adjustments, and it's all about just keeping the boat going fast but keeping it flat and keep it safe.
In the Anonymous Speed Challenge, it was Realteam, skippered by Jerome Clerc, who managed to maintain an average speed of 18.38 knots. This gave them victory in this unique test. An integral aspect of the Anonymous Speed Challenge is the onboard experience, as guests have the chance to join the cruise and enjoy the unique experience of foiling at high speeds.
Yes, so I'm happy to know that we are the winner of the Anonymous Speed Challenge. It's the first time of the season. It was not the fastest track we did, I think. The wind was quite light. We had some fun. We managed to fly with the Janacura, so I hope the guests had good fun also. Looking forward to have the watch.
The final day of the GC32 Orezza Corsica Cup had the prospect of some great conditions for racing. Again, guests had the chance to meet the skippers and crews before joining them on board to experience the thrill of a fully foiling catamaran. Marine pool and forward weep specific equipment was worn by the visitors for protection. The day started with one round of the Anonymous Speed Challenge, followed by 5 races with reaching starts. In the third race, Malizia were forced to retire from racing with equipment damage. The regatta had been Malizia's to lose as they started the final day with a 14-point lead. With Malizia back at the dock, it became a battle between Argo and Realteam for first place, and it went right down to the wire. With plenty at stake, the crews gave all they could to try and get any advantage over each other. The rivalry was intense. Initially, Argo looked to have taken control of the leaderboard, but with Realteam winning races 3 and 4, the Swiss held a narrow 1-point lead going into the final and deciding race. Realteam made a good start and were ahead at the first jibe. With the advantage, they just had to hold this position, and that's what they did. The race win secured them the GC32 Orezza Corsica Cup.
We had a great fight with Team Argo. We did the three last race of the day was a full fight and almost match racing. Congrats to them because they did a good job. I want to do a big thanks to my crew because it was really tough on the water today.
Second place went to Argo, skippered at this event by Anthony Couton, whilst third went to the French boat, Team NG.
For Team NG, we are very happy to be on the podium. We are third after 4-day races, and we did a beautiful day with beautiful condition. Calvi is a very beautiful area for racing, and next stop is in Marseille in 1 month.
Argo might have just missed out in the fleet racing, but the US team won the Anonymous Speed Challenge with the best average speed of 21.21 knots.
I think we have done very bad in the speed challenge, and yesterday we didn't have a good one, but today we had a good one. But that was the first time where we had been able to successfully pull or get close to a foiling jibe at the jibe mark, which obviously if you don't do, you scrub a lot of speed. I've always wanted one of those watches, and I'm really glad we won one, and it's great that they sponsor it because now I finally get a watch from them.
Great days here in Calvi. We had a great time. The conditions were amazing for the sailors, and it was a pleasure for us, for the brand, for Anonimo to be here, to be part of the tour here in Calvi. Calvi is a beautiful venue. For us, it will be really nice to be in Marseille for the final. I think the tour chose a great venue.
Naofumi Kamai's Mama Ayoto claimed the GC32 Orezza Corsica Cup Owner-Driver Prize, whilst the Australian team, Film Racing, were runners-up at just their second ever event on the GC32 Racing Tour. prize-giving ceremony took place in the amphitheatre of the beautiful marina of Calvi, where the teams, organisers and GC32 Racing Tour guests enjoyed a wonderful party. With celebrations in full flow, thoughts though were already turning towards their next event. It'll be the final stop of the season in Marseille. It's quite remarkable how close the teams are this season. In this highly competitive racing tour, going into the final event in France, Realteam hold a narrow 2-point lead over Argo, with Mama Ayoto in third. After Naofumi Kamai claimed the GC32 Orezza Corsica Cup owner-driver prize, incredibly there are now 3 teams, Argo, Mama Ayoto and Malizia Yacht Club de Monaco, all tied on points in the owner-drivers championship.
We managed to finish first in the owner-driver trophy, which is very good for us because it was a very difficult week in weather condition. We also finished 5th in the ranking, so we still have some good chance for the annual ranking, and we hope to have a good finish in Marseille and finish winning the owner-driver season. Marseille is normally very windy also in that month, and winds from the shore also shifty. It will be very exciting sailing.
All will be decided at the last event of the season, the Marseille 1 design, on the 12th to the 15th of October. Held on the Rad Sud of France's second city. It's a special location and will be the host of the sailing events at the Paris Olympic Games in 2024.
Yeah, that's it here for us here in Corsica. This is the end of the GC32 Orezza Corsica Cup here in Calvi. It's been an exciting and pretty windy 4 days here in Calvi. Great racing. Now there's only one event left. It's the Marseille event, the final of the GC32 Racing Tour, where we'll be in 1 month's time, and we very much look forward to it.
So the final event will decide this year's championship. Can Realteam hold on to their narrow advantage, and who will prove victorious in the owner-driver championship? Stay tuned to find out.